Stop wasting years on lifeless scales and start vocal imprinting. With 24 platinum records of experience, Brad Chapman is giving you the X-ray machine for the vocal soul. Discover the Vocal Muse Suite and Sing from Feel ebook. Beginners, icons, and everyone in between, it's time to upgrade your vocal DNA. Here's Brad Chapman.
Hello, listen, stop wasting precious years, I'm talking about 20 or 30 like I did, singing at a track just to end up with a lifeless karaoke cover. You may be having fun, but the audience may not be. Whether it's your first day or you're a global icon, like these records behind me, the secret isn't just more technique. Been there, done that. It's vocal imprinting. This is changing the world. Technique is the engine. It's a beautiful engine in the car if it's done well, and I teach technique. But imprinting is the soul that drives it. That's what people cheer about. Today I'm showing you how to stop guessing and start grafting the professional DNA of the greatest singing artists directly onto your voice, using the Vocal Muse Suite and the Sing from Feel ebook. I'm Brad Chapman, and this is where the technician and beginner becomes an artist. Let's get inside the song. All right, so we're going to bring Taylor back just to remind you of who we're learning from today. So here's that wonderful girl who's so popular right now. And here's the short section of the song that we're going to be working on. So this is, again, just a reminder. I want you to listen to her and notice how she sounds. Why does she sound that way? We're going to be studying that today, and it's going to make you an incredible singer by learning. Okay, so that's it, man. We're going to be learning how to do that and how to make it our own so that we're not Taylor Swift. We're learning from Taylor Swift, etc., but we're not becoming them. We're going to create our own art. So let's take a look at kind of how this all works. So I've got some posters here for you to look at. So this is the average singer, the robot. Good pitch, you know, they've had great voice teachers, you know, they can wail like the Black Gospel and all that, but there's no emotion. So there's high notes with no feel. High notes with no feel are wonderful for the singer. Oh, listen to me how I can hit that high note. Believe me, I've done it and taught it. But it doesn't get you the audience response that you want. The fellow on the right, he's getting the response you want. Now, he may be singing low notes. He may be singing flat notes. He may not be anywhere near, quote unquote, as good as you are, because his pitch and rhythm may not be like musical theater or opera or choir like yours is. But look at the way the audience is responding to him. Hands up, big applause, standing up. We want more. We'll pay more tickets. Come on, man. This is what we're after, all right? So we're going to call this process that we do vocal tracing. This is okay, but it doesn't get us what we want. And you can see the picture behind the tracing here is the great art. It's the great story. It's the great song. So what we're doing when we're singing along at full speed is just tracing. We're just kind of looking at this. We're going, okay, I got the lyrics. I got the rhythm. I'm singing along. But my hand's in the way, so I can't see what the artist is actually doing, and it's going by too fast. Think of drawing a hummingbird's wings while it's in flight. It's not going to happen. It's too fast. You can't see what's going on. So you try, you trace it, but you don't get it. You don't get the wonder of it. This is where we want to get, is behind the tracing. We want to get into the colors and so forth. So this image kind of exemplifies that. Here's the DNA of Taylor Swift, etc., all the great artists you want to learn from. Here's the music, the beautiful rhythms and pulses and signs, the things that turn us on, that make us go, oh my God, I can't believe it. And this is how you're going to get it, by creating unisons with the artist. Now, this is where Sing from Feel comes in. Look at these dotted lines here and how the average singer just kind of gets the perfect pitch, gets the rhythm, gets the tracing. You know, everybody thinks he's doing great, but things are sliding off for that singer because people are not applauding. They're not paying the big bucks. They're not excited. They're not giving them tips and so forth. So he might give up. It's like, okay, singing was fun for a while, but the audience isn't responding, so, you know, I put in my ears, forget it. Well, instead of that, let's go with Sing from Feel. We start here at 0. You're a beginner. You understand analysis now. You can figure out what's going on, how to do it. You can deal with all kinds of things like recording equipment, and you don't have to be an engineer to deal with it. You just have to understand how to use it. And then you imprint these artists onto you so that you become more than you ever were before. And then you integrate it. You want to integrate these artists into your life, into your singing, into your toolbox. From there, you create your own music, and now you're flying up to where they are. You're creating. You're incredible because you've got the toolbox of all these incredible artists inside of you. So let's move into how all this works and how it's explained. This is where the learning comes in. First of all, we have to do some things that, you're wondering why, but you'll understand very quickly. We're going to take a look at sheet music. Sheet music is what most people consider perfect pitch and perfect rhythm because it's quantized. It was written to be perfect. And it was for orchestras, it's for choirs, it's for people who have to do exactly the same thing together all the time. But that's not the rules that Taylor Swift follows. But yet, as you can see here, this is the song that she does. This is her song. And the neat thing about the sheet music is there's a piano here to play these notes so that you can hear what it sounds like. You heard Taylor Swift. You may have heard her sing this before. But when you hear this, it doesn't sound like Taylor Swift. Check it out. This is the way I used to teach. I don't teach this way anymore. So don't learn this from a voice teacher or a pianist because it will not serve you with commercial music. Here we go. All right, I'm going to bring my guest artist up. She's my student and pretty much a beginner, but she's moved a long way. Let me bring her up on the stage so that you can see her. That would be nice, wouldn't it? This is Nicole Vandestar. It's like her stage name already. Hey. So, have you ever tried to learn a song this way, Nicole, with the sheet music?
Yes, many times.
How do you think it worked out?
Not well.
Yeah.
That was funny. It didn't sound anything like it.
I know. And you're talking to the biggest so-called failure in the world. I mean, I'm putting this up saying, hey, I did all this. I taught this way. I had students coming in here. I had pianists sitting down and playing these notes and wondering why they didn't sound right because I've always loved commercial music. Contemporary, as they call it now, but never been into theater or, choir, all that kind of stuff. I've always been into pop music. So there's always been a different, but I didn't understand it, and now we can see it. It's so obvious. Like, let's do that one more time, right? Because it's just so funny. I get a laugh every time I get to do this. Now, I'm not saying this is wrong or laughable. I'm saying it doesn't work in contemporary music. That's the only point I'm trying to make. This is well written. They've done a great job. The piano's playing this perfectly. It's called quantized. It's perfectly in rhythm, perfectly on pitch. But listen to how you would sound if you sang exactly this way. Okay, so I always like to say that's enough of that. All right, so let's move on. Now that we know what she didn't do or she doesn't do, what does she do? And with Melodyne, we can see with our own eyes exactly what artists like Taylor Swift do. And I've done a lot of these shows. If you go into my YouTube site, you'll see all kinds of different artists that we've done this with, and you'll see all of these things are very consistent with them. And the consistency is how erratic it is. Let me put it on stage. All right, so this is what you see when you pull Melodyne up. Engineers use this. We're not using this. And I'm not trying to teach you how to use it or be an engineer. I'm just using it for demonstration. Okay, the blobs are representations of her voice. From left to right is pitch. So these spaces, gray, white, tell us whether she's on or off pitch. The rhythm is the vertical lines going up and down. So again, just let me explain this. Don't get too caught up in, I don't understand what he's saying, because it's really obvious. She starts here late or early. She's somewhere in between that 16th note. So again, you can't figure out or quantize exactly what she's going to do. So we just look at it and go, oh, well, that's interesting. And also, you can see that it is sharp. It's above the gray. Now, when I play this, I just want to remind you who we're listening to and what's going on. It's just going to be Taylor's voice.
He looks up, grinning like a devil is new.
Okay, so that's what we're working on. This note here is sharp. Now, if you look up here where it says C sharp 5 and plus 10%, that tells us that this note is sharp. So again, she's not perfectly on pitch. Sorry, guys. Mythbuster. Here she's 30% sharp. That's quite a bit. Here she is flat by 15%. Even flatter here if I can get it to play. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. 35% flat. This one is 39% flat. This one is almost 40% flat. Hey, this is pretty close to on pitch. So again, I'm not saying that all these people are always off pitch and always off rhythm. It's just erratic. And you can't actually learn it from doing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to clear your mind of the idea that the artists that you love and you listen to are perfectly on pitch and perfectly on rhythm. This one's flat, and it's early to the gray line here, which is talking about rhythm, early and late. This is early and late here, and this is quite late here. So all I'm showing you is why you shouldn't believe in perfect pitch and perfect rhythm based on music theory standards. So I know that you get that shoved down your throat all the time because I used to be one of them. Oh, you got to be above the pitch. You got to be floating on there. You got to have a perfect vibrato, blah, 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 because that's what I was taught by Seth Riggs, arguably the number one voice teacher of all time, especially in the pop era. So I know what I'm doing, and I've worked with major artists, and I've seen the difference. What I'm doing now is passing that on. I've developed a system. It's called the Vocal Muse Suite, and I'm going to show that concept to you now. This is where Nicole and you all get to do the learning. So we're going to bring up Audacity, and this is the portion of the song that Taylor is singing. Put it on the stage. Here you go. Now, Nicole is a wonderful person. She's terrific, and she's going to do something for you that is terrific. So be sure and put some fire emojis in the chat. Let her know that you appreciate her. She's going to demonstrate what it's like for all of us to just start singing, just start tracing it. What does it sound like when we're tracing an artist that we really haven't mastered? Now, Nicole knows quite a bit about this already, so she's going to kind of fake part of the mistakes. But the idea is to show you what you sound like when you're singing along in the car, or you're singing along and thinking that you're doing great when you're really not, because you can't hear the singer. So you're going to notice that's the issue. Between Nicole and Taylor, there's going to be kind of an imbalance in rhythm and pitch because Nicole's showing us that she hasn't quite learned it yet. All right, here we go. You ready, Nicole? Mm-hmm. All right, here comes the rocket. Now, the first half of this phrase is just for getting into the groove for listening. The second half of the phrase is actually where Nicole is going to sing. Here we go.
Above you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up grinning like a devil is.
Right. Oh, did you do the you part?
No.
Okay, that's part of it too.
Okay.
Well, we'll get to that later. That's okay. That was great. So, you all heard that she was pretty close, but no cigar. All right. Yeah. So we want to get the cigar. We want to be great artists. We want to know how Taylor Swift has become this great artist. And its songwriting is really the number one reason. But her songwriting's had a big effect on her phrasing and her style. So in a way, we're going to be studying that too. The secret here is tempo change. So with Audacity, I can easily go in, and my Vocal Muse Suite video program shows you exactly how to do this. It's not hard. You won't have to do a lot of searching on the internet and asking AI a lot of questions. Some maybe because things keep changing, but not a lot. We're going to change the tempo. Now, it says minus 95%. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go that slow. But I think this is because Taylor's moving pretty quick here rhythmically. Let's go to minus 55%. So I put in the box minus 55. And then I just preview it real quick to make sure we're getting what we want. Okay, so it's very obvious now that she's doing a lot of slurring. That was not as obvious before. I could hear it. A lot of people who've been doing musical for a long time would have heard it. But a lot of people are not that musical. They can't hear it. So when we slow it down, now we can hear the ba, ba, ba. And we saw that on Melodyne. There's a bunch of little lines in there that I didn't show you because it's hard to explain what they mean. But now you can hear them. The slurring up and down. It is so common in today's music. And it's really common here because Taylor's trying to create, well, she is creating a specific emotional feel. Something that is really happening here. Now, if anybody's watching this and you think that this is going to be easy, you're looking for cheap tricks, you're in the wrong place. You might as well go look for cheap tricks because being a great artist like Taylor Swift is not about cheap tricks. It's not about hacking. Now, I am hacking a little bit by bringing this to you so that you can learn what the greats automatically do. Sometimes some of them know it, some of them don't, but they do it, and that's what we're learning here. So if you want to get this, hang in there and watch the rest of the show. Look at the products. If you don't buy them, that's okay, but look at the products, see what's going on. This is going to change the singing world forever because when you go into a restaurant now, you can hear singers who have emotional colors, not just pitch and rhythm. All right, so Taylor, Nicole. Can I call you Taylor? Nicole?
Sure.
she has done some listening on this, and she does know how to do this. So you're going to hear a lot of progress fast, but I want to show you what we do first. We listen. Because if we don't listen, we don't hear, and this is what we're talking about. When you're tracing, you don't hear what Taylor has to offer. You don't hear the slurs. You don't hear the flat notes. You don't hear the vibratos. You don't hear the erratic rhythms because it's going by too fast. Now that you've seen that it exists, now that you can hear it, you'll be able to imitate it. So here we go. Ready? All right, let's listen. You can really hear that emotion. One more time. Okay, I want you all to think about what you just heard, and Nicole's going to help lead the charge here. What things did you notice? I know you know this song. You said you've sung it a lot already. What did you notice that time that you've never noticed before that Taylor's doing?
So I haven't sung it a
Oh,
lot.
well, you knew the lyrics at
I
least.
did know the lyrics, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you slowed it down, I didn't notice how soft she got on the end.
Oh, yeah.
That completely passed me by. And then it's grittier in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the right word to use.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah,
Lots
that's a
of
very
slurring.
common, it's like an emotional grit.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a technique. It's emotional sound.
A lot of slurring, and a lot of the words run together.
Yeah, you don't hear perfect diction.
Not at all.
We didn't talk about that yet. So, again, musical theater teachers will teach you, you have to have perfect diction. You have to finish every word with a consonant.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure every beginning consonant is very clear. In musical theater, I agree. You're 100 feet from that artist and they're mumbling, you're not going to get anything. Mm-hmm. But microphones change all that. So right now, you just heard Taylor Swift singing in your ear. Whether you got headphones on or you got speakers on your computer or you've got a car stereo blasting, you're hearing her in your ear. So this is entirely different. So she doesn't want to over-pronunciate because it sounds wrong. Mm-hmm. So she mumbles a little bit. One of the things I noticed, because I've been doing this for so long, the grit is only half of the time. Mm-hmm. So there's like grit, clean. And you don't hear that very often. You usually hear just grit, grit, grit. But she's feeling these words and it's creating these colors. And that's where the sing from feel concept comes in. Taylor wrote the song, she feels the song, she feels the story, so it comes out of her voice in music because she's very musical, obviously, right? Again, the rhythms are very erratic. Ba, ba, ba. So if I told you that it goes ba, 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 you say, Brad, I don't think so. That's not right. Well, wait a minute, it says you're on the sheet music. Ba, and actually it doesn't even have the slurs. It just says ba, 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 ba. So, that just doesn't work in this area. The only reason we're laughing is because we're trying to help you understand that you decided that you wanted to be a great artist when you decide you want to be a singer. I mean, I don't know anybody who was listening when they were a little kid or even later on as an adult said, ooh, I'd like to sing like that person, and be thinking, don't they have great vocal technique? That's what I want. Don't they have great diction? That's what I want. No, you feel it. You get the hairs up on the back of your neck. You cry. You laugh. You stomp the floor. All those things is what Taylor is doing that is exciting people enough to come see her shows. I watched the video of this. It was like a football stadium, man. I mean, people everywhere. It's unreal. Now, I know there's Taylor Swift haters, and that's okay. You can't be a great artist without drawing some haters. All right? That's true. So Taylor knows that, so she does what she does, and she doesn't worry about the haters. And I don't worry about them either. I know what Taylor Swift is doing right, and I know what she supposedly is, quote-unquote, doing wrong. But, I want to learn. I want to teach. I want to know how this stuff works. I want to help people so that when they're singing at a wedding, that there's actual emotions coming out, not just a song. I'm going to have Nicole listen one more time because we chatted for that. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else you noticed you want to bring up?
Well, back to the tempo. It's like slow, fast.
Yeah.
Not exactly that precise, but yes, she changes the tempo throughout the entire phrase.
Yeah, it's like what, when, how.
Yes.
You know, I tried to use music theory when I first started this concept, and I said, wait a minute, this is not working. Also, let me point out, when she says the word you, she not only goes soft, she is quite late.
Yes.
So, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba. That creates drama. Now, Taylor may not be thinking, oh, I'll do that to create drama. She just knows. She just feels it, you know. And a lot of us know this information because we've been listening to singers all our lives. We just have never been able to put it in words or put it in a situation where we can actually learn it. Okay, so Nicole's going to listen one time. Now, remember, the first part of the phrase, and I teach it this way, is just to get into the rhythm. The second part of the phrase where she says the word devil is actually the one we're working on. All right, here we go. Okay, this time, Nicole, go ahead and sing. Now, she's going to be trying to create a unison. You know what a unison is, right, Nicole? Mm-hmm. Explain this. Explain to the other beginners what a unison is.
The simplest definition I can think of is where two voices sound like one. So the tempo is matched perfectly. That just sounds like one louder voice, I guess. Yeah,
one louder voice. And one, also, when they come together perfectly, you can't tell who's who, right? Mm-hmm. And that's really the part that's hard to do while you're actually singing, because you're like, okay, who's, am I with her? What happened? So this absorption or imprinting is what I'm talking about. The more that we hear this, the better we do. One more time, just listening, and then sing the second time. I won't stop it. I'll just let the loop go.
Okay.
So you listen and then sing. Way to go. One more time. Okay, you're doing brilliantly. Of course, dragging on the word you is going to be a little tough.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about the slowness is, of course, we have to get used to that tempo. That's why we make sure that that first phrase is there, so that we can feel the tempo, so that, again, we can absorb or imprint, whatever word you want to use, what Taylor's doing. Now, the next process, and this is extremely powerful, and again, it's very easy with today's software. Don't think this is difficult, that you need an engineering degree or anything. The Vocal Muse system shows you exactly how to do this. So I'm going to record, and Nicole's going to sing along, trying to create her best unison, and then she'll be able to listen back for the first time with this particular song. She'll be able to hear whether she's getting what Taylor has to teach here or not. Now, when I say Taylor has to teach, I mean Taylor's recordings. Taylor's not going to come into the room and show us how to do this, right? But we have her recording, and it's legit to use it for teaching, so don't worry about that part. Here we go. Ready to record, Nicole?
Sure.
Yeah, see, confident. She's done this before. All right, now we get to listen back to that and go, wow, I was with that, or I was a little bit off there, or I was with that. This is learning. We're not here to demonstrate to you how great we are. We're here to show you how to learn. Now, sometimes when you watch something and somebody does something incredible, that is exciting. You know, oh yeah, man, I'd like to do that. But this is exciting. You know, being able to become a unison with one of your favorite artists is incredible. All right, we're listening back now. Congratulations.
That wasn't horrible.
What was horrible?
No, I said it wasn't horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was away from the mic. The timing was closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, that part you is probably going to take the longest
Yes.
amount of listening because it's so like, when's it going to happen? You know, because again, I showed you, you can't count on da, 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 da.
No.
You can't count on that downbeat. So wait a minute, how far behind would she be? You know, it's like, oh. So this is where imprinting comes in. Listening, imprinting, listening, imprinting. So the procedure here that you learn on the Vocal Muse Suite is that after you have heard it and then you've sung and you feel like you're getting pretty close, then you record, then you listen back and you get to see, hey, this is where I was. I was pretty on right here, but, you know, on that word you, I've got a little difficulty there. So then you go back to listening, back to imprinting. Get your brain in there. Become Taylor Swift, so to speak. Become one with what she's doing because you can't learn it intellectually. You can only learn it, as everybody in this industry calls, by ear. So we're learning it by ear. Then you can record it again and check yourself. So just to make sure that that's clear, because we seem to have plenty of time today, let's do it again.
Okay.
So we're going to record it again now that she's heard how great she was on it and where she was just a little bit off. She can record it again and see how it goes. Let me remark this spot. All right, here we go. All right. That was good on the you there.
That one's tricky. It's completely filling.
Well, you know, it's the tricky ones that we really want. I was working with my 10-year-old student earlier on Siley Myra's song, Dream.
Okay.
Dreamer. So anyway, in the very first section of the song, you think, oh, this is pretty easy. You know, it's just basically melody. You know, there's lots of feel, of course, which is what makes it a little bit more complicated. Mm-hmm. But there was this one word where once we slowed it down, I could hear that there were 3 notes instead of 1. Mm. It wasn't just ba. It was like ba. And at the original tempo, you could feel it. You could feel the effect it had because it was kind of like a cry. It was very emotional, but you didn't get all the notes until you slowed it way down. Mm-hmm. And so that's what she's working on. So she got most of it, but that one line, you know, she's got to go back and listen to that and become one with Miley until she can do it on her own. And then we're going to show what happens next. Let's listen to this for this wonderful person here. Let's see. I've got the wrong thing. We're going to bring the volume up. There we go. That's tempo. See what happens when you're working with software? But, you know, it's okay, guys. Everybody does this. Here we go, amplification. As we all know with software, there's so many choices that you can make that it's not unusual to make the wrong one here and there. All right, listening back, listening for that unison. And we'll ask Nicole how this feels after she hears this, what we heard, this really incredible unison. How'd that feel?
Better. It's
Better?
still slightly off in the very beginning and right before it's new.
Excellent. Now, but what did it feel like when you were on?
Great.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what we want to remember. This is muscle memory, by the way, everyone. And there's a lot of neurotechnology going on here. We're creating neural patterns that, once they're established, become ours. And we're learning what you might call the neural patterns of Taylor Swift. When you're on and your brain goes, yeah, that muscle memory becomes a part of you much faster. When you're a perfectionist, when you're critical, and I know you all know who I'm talking about out there, then you get hard on yourself. You go, oh, I missed that. Oh, I missed that. Oh, that wasn't perfect. Oh, no. Then that becomes muscle memory. And if you don't believe me, just study athletic coaches. The great ones know that you don't tell the batter when the ball's coming to swing as hard as they can, because they'll try that and they'll miss the ball because it's wrong to say just hit as hard as you can, right? It's not good information. Now, they'll usually say, now watch the ball or take a medium swing, just feel it. Just get in the groove. And then the athletes are learning at a far faster pace. And they're also using this slowing down, like I mentioned earlier, so that they can see what the great athletes are doing that maybe they're not. And the great athletes who are doing it are for the first time going, I didn't know I was doing that. That's incredible. Let me do more. So we want this muscle memory. Now, Nicole is really going to put herself out on the line for us, as an artist does. She's going to create her own track this time. Now, I'll leave a little bit of Taylor in there because you don't know it extremely well. Mm-hmm. Just kind of help make sure that you know where you're at. So she's going to sing it her way, and I'm going to let her do that a couple of times so she can get a feel, get a groove. Again, Taylor will be there just to support, but it won't be there to copy Taylor, just as a little bit of support. And then we'll remove Taylor, because after all, we're not here to become Taylor. We're here to become Nicole, or whoever you are out there watching. If I want to do this, I want to be Brad. I don't want to be Taylor. And if I was learning this song, I would change the key. Now, you say, well, can't you hit the notes? Well, maybe, a tenor can sing C sharps, but it wouldn't feel right because it would be way too much energy, too much power, more than this song deserves. Be like rock screaming, right? And this song is not about that. It's partially because she's pretty frustrated, but it's not that far. So I would change the key so that I could sing it with notes that made sense for me. And then some of the girls are maybe coloraturas and they want to raise the key. They would say, oh, this is too low. I can't get into this. It's like, right? So they change the key, and you can do that with Audacity, while you're doing your recording and so forth. So my point is, there's a lot of flexibility here, and that's all. Everything I'm saying is on the Vocal Muse Suite and in the book that tells you all these details one by one, so you don't feel like you're wandering around wondering what is going on, because that's what you're feeling right now. Here we go. So back to what we're doing. Nicole is making up her own thing here.
Okay.
Above you ain't just the worst thing you ever heard.
He looks up, singing like the devil is He looks up, grinning like the devil is
One more time. Go for it. You're starting to feel good. You're starting to get into it.
He looks up, grinning like the devil is
Right on. See, now, which you kind of instinctively did, you did the you earlier.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because now it's yours. It made sense. It worked, right? It's your emotions you're feeling now. So let's talk a little bit about the process of singing from feel, meaning that you have to create emotions before you start singing in order to make it your own. So when you hear these words, Nicole, what do you feel emotionally? Not story-wise, but what do you feel emotionally? Think about it. Or I can play it again if you like.
Okay, play it again, please.
Okay. I'll bring Taylor back in. And I'll, think of the words. Now, there's probably more than one emotion going on here, because even just this short phrase, there's usually more than one emotion. But so listen for whatever, we don't have to get it all today. We're not here to master this. We're here to help people learn how to use it, and to help you learn how to use it on your own time. What do you think?
Frustration.
Oh, man, big time.
Maybe, not angry, but just a little pissed off. Pissed off and frustrated.
Well, I looked at the overall song, and it's about wanting to be with somebody she doesn't want to be with.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that's
it's a bad guy, he's a bad boy, right? But she's so attractive, she just can't stay away.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is very, very frustrating. Now, would you like to go back to the original tempo for this?
Sure.
Okay. So that's very easy. We just go up to, there's a couple of things to go through, but it just takes a second to get through them. Got to get back to the original tempo, and we've done a lot of recording, so we've got to remove all of those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. And I'd like to talk about Billy's studio today. He's helping Nicole out of this. He's does a lot of video work and so forth. He's incredible. He's working with great people. So his company's name is Vivid Reality Entertainment. His name is Billy. Check him out. Also, we're using software called FarPlay, or an app, to bring in the audio so that we can talk over each other, and so that Nicole can sing in rhythm with this track. I'm playing the track on my side. She's singing perfectly in rhythm and on pitch. There is no latency. There's no problem here. We can work online. So it works out really well with this, because these broadcasting softwares don't work well with having more than one person in the room. It's hard to get them recorded. So anyway, all this stuff is great. Really helps us out. And now I'll play it back at the original tempo once or twice. Loop it just to help you get back into the feel.
Okay.
Feel that anger, feel that frustration, feel what's going on here, and also get you back into the original tempo. By the way, once you learn something really slow, it doesn't take long to get it to go fast. The long part of the learning is the listening slow. Then you can speed it up. Now, today we're doing things much more quickly, so we're going right to the original tempo. But normally we would go up a little bit at a time, especially if you don't know the song very well. Here we go.
Above you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like a devil is you. Above you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like a devil is you.
Amazing. I feel like I'm in a race now.
Worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like a devil is you.
So why that tempo? That's another thing. What would that tempo help you feel, Nicole?
The frustration and the anger.
But what else? What does it do to the energy?
Oh, thank you. It makes it more intense.
Yeah, it brings a lot of energy. Like, oh, god damn, da 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 da. It's like punk rock almost.
Yeah, if it was a slower tempo like what we were practicing at, it's more a ballad sad. This is intense and in your face.
Yeah, and when they set tempos and when they set keys, their biggest consideration is not can I do it, but what does it feel like? Great recording artists will tell you the record is done when it feels right, not before and not after. When it feels right, we're done. Stop. If you want to do another riff, he's going to say no because it feels right. If he doesn't feel like it and he wants another riff, then you're going to do it. But it's all about what does it feel like. Play it back. Let's try different keys. Let's try different arrangements. This is all done in pre-production, which is part of this. You're learning pre-production skills as well with this. Mm-hmm. All right. So listen once and then sing.
Okay.
So I'll pull her volume down the second time around.
Above you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like a devil is you. Above you,
He looks up, grinning like a devil, it's new. He looks up, grinning like a devil, it's new.
Ready to go. One more time. Come on. We've got the energy.
He looks up, grinning like a devil, it's new.
Yeah. Now, I want to, Nicole and I also work on technique. All my students are working on technique. These people sometimes spend thousands of dollars with me to get all these details. So you don't want to spend that kind of money. You don't want to spend that kind of time. Get the book, get the video. You can learn all this stuff. Then if you get really serious about this, contact me and we'll do it privately. But that was really pretty good head voice. Now, I don't teach technique in these situations because it's not ethical. But I just wanted to point out, that wasn't yelling. That had feel. That had an emotion. That was strong head voice. Buh, 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 that's great. And we haven't really worked on that. So Taylor helped bring that out. Sometimes I find that when people are singing with emotions, they sing better technique.
That's true.
It's amazing. Sometimes I just go, wait a minute, what just happened? I didn't tell them to do that, but it happened anyway. So, I could go on all day, but I won't because these are shows, not live-in experiences, right? Maybe we should do that. We'll do one show where we go for a week.
That would be interesting, yeah.
We'll go take some breaks. We'll go sleep for a while. We'll come back. As if we were all living in the house together, right?
Yeah.
We probably won't do that, but it's fun to think of it. All right, so 2 more times and then we'll record it.
Okay.
Do it your way. You're doing great. You don't have to think about Taylor anymore. You got the music. You got the emotion. You got the soul. Just let it fly. Much better. Do it again.
Sorry, I missed my cue.
That's all right.
No.
Let me show you. Okay, I'll put her back in.
Yeah. I got it. Turn myself off.
He looks up grinning like a devil, it's new.
All right. Okay, so now we're going to record it.
He looks up
sorry.
grinning like a devil, it's new.
Good job. All right. Got that a cappella in there. If we had enough reverb in there, you'd hear. We were talking about that earlier. We don't do it here because we don't want to make this too much of a commercial process. But, a lot of times people like Billy will put in a lot of echo and reverb because it's not to make it fake, but because it enhances the performance.
Yeah.
Believe me, Taylor Swift's got a lot on hers. We heard that when we played the Melodyne. Probably didn't notice it. I didn't point it out, but there's a lot of reverb there. And probably some echo as well. That's the standard of the industry. It's not cheating. It's not auto-tune. It's not trying to make Taylor into a singer. She's not. It's not. We're not doing that for Nicole. But that was really good. Great job. Okay, so we're going to record it. Here we go.
He looks up grinning like a devil, it's new.
Yeah, one more time. I didn't quite get that muted. So I'm going to bring her up. See, it's the engineer's fault, not the artist. Blame the engineer. Believe me, engineers are used to making mistakes. I'm not one, but I kind of got, not forced, but I'm kind of in that position now because I want to help my students with this. And I want you all to learn how to do this yourself. There's something that I've learned that I'll bring up while we're in this subject. If you don't understand how to sing in this environment, you are at a major disadvantage. And you might even embarrass yourself tremendously by going in, not being able to hear yourself, thinking that that's normal, singing really off key, not knowing it because you can't hear yourself, having the engineer think you're tone deaf. He'll still take your money, he'll still finish the project, he, she, whatever. They'll still take your money and take the project, but they're not going to tell you were tone deaf. And you may not even notice it when you listen back. Same thing can happen live. The band is too loud, they're crowding you out, the engineer didn't turn your voice up, maybe he couldn't, and you didn't tell him that you couldn't hear yourself, but the audience heard you very well. And they think you're tone deaf. All right, so just learning a little bit about this so that you can communicate with your sound engineer. Hey, could you bring my voice up a little bit? Or that drum's driving me crazy. Would you turn the snare down? Whatever, you want to sound good. You want to feel good. And the music is the wind beneath your wings. So you want to make sure it sounds good and then it's supporting you. All right, here we go. Recording again. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have you do that again. You did it better last time.
Yeah.
Just have fun now. I know it's, sometimes the more we do this, the worse it gets. There's Rick.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones was famous. I worked with him once to let us know that because of digital recording, we don't need to worry about running out of tape like they used to. So he starts the recording right at the beginning of the session, even when people are just chatting and just kind of getting into the groove, because what happens is he finds these times when people are just letting it rip, and then he puts those into the original recording. Now, sometimes it's the first take, sometimes it's the 10th. He never knows. That's why he wants to get all of them. And that's what just happened. We've done 5 or 6 of these, and number 5 was not quite as good as number 4.
Yep.
So that's why we're going to do it again. Here we go. Just blow it out, man. Go for it. You've got every reason in the world to be confident here. Here we go.
He looks up grinning like a devil, it's new.
All right. Let's listen back to that. I think Yeah, that's good. All right.
That was better. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. You see, now she's like an artist. She's going, okay, I threw a mistake out there. It didn't work. But I threw some really good stuff out there, too. So I'm fairly happy with what I just heard. I'm going to put some effects on here for you. Playback. Add effect. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, that's good there. And a little bit there. This should sound good. All right, so now we're in playback, and we're all getting to enjoy the performance. Nobody's singing. We're all just listening. Here we go.
He looks up grinning like a devil, it's new.
You ready for your next concert, Nicole?
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, and those are C sharps.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to tell you that up front. Singers get crazy. Oh, it's too high. And then we get
I am
tight.
guilty of that, as you know. So, yeah.
Well, I've had enough friends in the industry, and I've been around enough to know you just don't tell people certain things during a recording session, right? So that kind of really shows us what we're doing here. Now, we've got the chat open, and we do this live so that you can ask questions. So feel free to chat. Someone said hi earlier. I said hi back. We appreciate that. Again, put in some emojis for Nicole for doing what she just did for you all. And any questions you have, we are open. And make comments. You know, later on, if you watch this and it's not live, you can make comments, and I'll get back to you. We want to know what you think, what you feel. We want to change the world in this one respect. There are great artists out there. There's plenty of them, but there's not a lot of great average singers. I'd like to change that. I'd like to have the average singer, the ones doing the clubs, we're here in Vegas, doing the casinos and so forth, sound as good as the great stars. Why not? Let's not make it luck anymore. Let's not make it playing the lottery. Let's make it actually real for everybody. So I've just got one more little thing to say here. Nobody's chatting. Okay, here we go. So you just saw the invisible rhythm and pitch. We did that with Melodyne. You saw and heard the artist's DNA that separates the legends from the students. We made that really obvious. But here's the truth. Seeing it once is not enough. Nicole will say she's put some time into this. She's done other songs. Nicole, don't you find that the more you do this, the faster you become at it?
Yes, that's 100% true.
Have you noticed that when you are just listening to the radio now, you're hearing things you never heard before?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just amazing. It's a principle, right? So once you get this principle, then it just changes you forever. So if you go back to just practicing scales and tracing tomorrow, it's okay. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's going to get upset. But you will be staying in the technician trap. So you need to turn these insights into permanent vocal imprinting, closer to what you just heard with Nicole. And I'm going to give you one more demonstration today to really nail this down. So I developed the Vocal Muse Suite specifically so beginners could bypass years of lifeless singing and start borrowing the soul of the greats from day one. When I developed this, I became a beginner. I had no idea I was missing all this information. So even if you've been singing for years, and I've had students who've been singing 30, 40 years, and when I showed this to them, they went, "What? Really? This is incredible. I can't believe it. I wish I'd learned it when I was, in my garage band when I was 17, But unfortunately, most people miss this, and most people go to the grave missing this. So pair the suite with my ebook, Sing from Feel, to unlock the full blueprint, the map, the way to get everywhere you want to go, of how to move an audience. What have we been talking about today, rhetorically? The audience. Yeah, you can brag, I can hit that note, blah, blah, blah. You get your little group of friends, and, you get to the university, and you impress the teachers, and you impress the other people who are, learning, but that's a pretty small audience. Sorry to tell you. If you really want to get great, you really want to make a living at this, you want to live the dream, you got to move an audience. So whether you're chasing your first note or your next platinum record, like these behind me, click the link in the description below and the chat, grab the suite and the ebook, and let's stop tracing melodies. Let's stop doing the old habit. It's time to start owning them. Own these songs. You know what? I'll see you on the inside. So let me bring up on the stage this one last demonstration so that you can see what I'm talking about. This perfect unison. Tony put in the time. He started from the beginning of how to do this. And I've got to find the track. Where is it, guys? We've got a little trouble here. Let me pull it up. There it is. Okay. So this is an Ed Sheeran song. And I will play. I'll put it up on the screen so you're, again, understanding and getting used to seeing Audacity. So here's his vocal on this track. Ed's vocal is here and the music is here. So I'm going to mute Tony to remind you what Ed Sheeran sounds like. And this was from a live performance. So there's a riff in here that, if you understand what I'm saying, is going 16th notes at 96 beats per minute. That is not a slow riff. So we slowed this down, 50, 60% to make sure that Tony could feel exactly what Ed was doing. So here we go. This is Ed.
But I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body now.
Yeah, what a great artist. I mean, that was live. I take these things from live performances so that we know that they're not edited. All right, so now you're going to hear the unison with Tony. So Tony is matching Ed, feel per feel, rhythm for rhythm, and sounding virtually the same. Here we go.
But I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. I'm in love with your body now.
You see, so it is possible. All the little rhythm things and all that, so now Tony knows what to do. So the next thing we're going to have Tony do, not here today because he's not with me, he's on tour right now. We're going to have him make his own out of this riff. And then we'll have that example. So we have Nicole helping us out, showing us what it's like from the beginning. Then Tony will come in and show us what it's like after putting in all the time in the practice. And then we'll have Tony show us the artistry, a little bit like what we had Nicole do today, which she did beautifully. We just want to make sure you understand where we're coming from in this. This is new. This is not something that you're going to find at your neighborhood 7-Eleven. You won't even find it at the Guitar Center. It's just, you can tell I'm completely sold on it. It's just incredible what we're doing. It's incredible what's coming out of it. It's incredible what's happening with my students. It's incredible the feedback we're getting. So I'll close the show today. Nicole, do you have any last-minute questions or comments? Oh, got to get to the microphone. See, she knows right away. If she talks while she's sitting there, we're going to be going, huh? What?
Comments. Wow, Tony was amazing.
Yeah.
That unison was incredible.
Yeah. And he's live here in town.
Yeah.
He does gigs.
Wow.
Yeah, restaurants. Does great.
Yeah, no questions, just a comment. That was really spectacular.
Well, thank you. I'll tell him. He'll enjoy that. We're all here to be incredible. We're all here to be great. And we're all at different levels, and that's good. Sometimes, there's a song that Nicole and I also worked on from Taylor Swift, Fortnite. Mm-hmm. And the melody is so incredibly simple that it's almost like learning a nursery rhyme, mm-hmm. except for one extremely important thing, the feel. So you don't have to hit high notes. You don't have to have incredibly powerful voices like Christina Aguilera. Now, granted, she stands out, but there's a lot of great singers who don't stand out like that sold more records than she has. Mm-hmm. It's not all about that. It's part of that. If you want to do that, you want to take the time, that's great. But you don't have to. You can get the feel on these easy things. I've heard Tony live, and when he sings songs about his wife, we all just go, "Oh my gosh, let's go home. We want to be together." It's so emotional because he understands this whole concept now, and he's getting better and better at it. Okay, you guys have heard enough of me, and thanks again to Nicole. I don't know how to put a fire emoji in here. How do you do that? Post a comment. See, let me hide this screen we're looking at now so that we're back together watching this. It's like, Brad, don't you know what you're doing? Let's see, post a comment. Where'd you get emojis? Do you know? I don't know how to get a chat emoji.
I don't know on the chat. I haven't used it.
I'll just put fire here with a
cool
exclamation points.
Perfect.
Fire. Nicole, yes, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
O-L, I can't. Don't copy my typing. It will not help you. Okay. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Like and subscribe so that YouTube knows where you are, and we'll send you alerts telling you when I'm going to do another show, because I don't know when, but YouTube will tell you. So be sure and like and subscribe. That's why they do that. And see you on the other side, guys. Thanks again, Nicole.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.